Okay, we should be live. I'm going to make sure everything is all working. And then we can get started. Audio sounds good. Alrighty, let's get the show on the road. The Wildcard playoffs is here in Season 1 of OFL 23. What's good, SGYT? What's good, Kevin? How we doing, fellas? What's good, Nick and Aiden? 2 minutes of my life currently goes for about $1. So what, I owe you $1 for being 2 minutes late? If that's the case, then don't I owe everybody a dollar? You get a dollar, you get a dollar. I'll be Oprah, but instead of giving everyone cars, I'll give everybody $1. Set up super chat. No, I don't need your money, but I appreciate it. So this is what the playoff bracket looks like. I believe the games we're watching are this one, and this one, I think, although I'll have to check. So how we doing on the progress on that thing we did? It's coming along. The 3 games we'll simcast are this game, and this game, right? I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure those are the games that won. Yeah, if the polls are telling me the truth, it is F, B, and A, which is this game, and this game. Yeah, how we decide the order of the playoff games is Siri picks, and we usually alternate between watched and simcast. But since this is the first game, Siri will be able to choose between all of them. Siri, give me a number between 1 and 6. 5. Okay, we got our first simcast game. It's Rams and Panthers. Siri, give me a whole number between 24 and 25. 25. That would be the Rams who are home. Since we're starting with a simcast game, the next game that we're going to do is going to be a watched game. So one of the 3 games that we're going to watch. Siri's probably going to have the Bengals game right at the end. I guarantee it. Or at least the last simcast game. Odds is away and evens is home. Yeah, that's how it's always... Actually, no. The lower number is odd and the higher number is... What? No. The lower number is the away team and the higher number is the home team. There we go. I should probably get my other controller set up. Although last stream, when I was setting up the controller, I messed something up with the console's microphone. For those of you who watched the Titans episode on Tuesday, you probably noticed an issue with the audio. I think it was because of something I did as I was doing something with the controllers on stream. I fixed it, so it's good now. But yeah, so good job by me. Why isn't it starting? What the heck? There we go. Okay. I was going to say, what is it doing? I'm doing homework, and I have 60% of the questions done. I have a 49% grade. Well, that sounds like a problem. You should probably get that up. Drop merch. Do you know how to make merch? Because I don't. So which one of these teams will advance to the divisional round? We've got the Rams and the Panthers. P.J. Walker versus Dak Prescott. An interesting QB matchup. I can do a design for you. Do you know how to design merch? Wow, pretty high-scoring game. The Rams seem to have the edge, but barely. We're going to go slower. This looks like a good game. You hire a business that sells clothes, and then boom, merch. There you go. So the Rams are up by 8. Carolina needs a touchdown and a 2-point to tie it. They're not. They're going to punt it. Can the Rams ice it here? They don't. Okay, now both defenses are starting to play well. And the Rams score a touchdown. They're up by 15. We can move faster. It's not over. It's definitely not over. Do they go for 2? No. Onside kick. Recovered by the Rams. First down probably ends it. If not, we'll hop in. 3rd and 10. They don't get it. Okay, we're going to hop in. Carolina's down by 8 with a minute to go and no timeouts. And we nearly get a water punt down at the 13. Can P.J. Walker lead Carolina down the field to tie the game and bring it to overtime? And that's a good start, but they got to move quick with no timeouts. Carolina is Mr. Rob, and the Rams are Luca. I despise Mr. Rob. You mean the guy whose coattails he rode for a ring? Why are they throwing up the middle of the field? They need to move quicker. What are they doing? They need to throw from the sidelines and then launch a Hail Mary. Or not that. They might have time for one more play. Nope, they're not, because they decided to run a 2-yard check down because this game loves to be stupid. And there you go. The Rams are moving on as they defeat the Carolina Panthers 35-27. So the Rams will play Washington if Washington wins. If Washington loses, then the Rams will play the winner of the other game, which would be the Cougars or the Dreadnoughts, while Carolina is eliminated. So multi-time OFL Bowl champion Mr. Rob will not be adding to his ring collection. Both quarterbacks played well. Wow, they both played really well. Holy cow. Except for that last drive where P.J. Walker sold, but both of them were good. It seems like the difference is that the Rams ran the ball well. Antonio Gibson, Mr. Offensive Player of the Year candidate. 2.6 yards per carry. I guess to be fair, Nick Chubb didn't make the playoffs, but if he did, I think he would have done pretty well. Also, completely unrelated, but if you guys want to do a VC, if you guys are down to do that, I am down as well. And we're getting pretty close to when PlayStation is going to have like the full version of the update to where you can hear everybody in a Discord voice chat. I think that's scheduled for next week. So hopefully Discord and PlayStation actually, do that. All right, so now we are going to do one of the watch games. We've got, this game is 1, this game is 2, and this game is 3. Siri, give me a whole number between 1 and 3. 1. So we will start with the Patriots and the Bills. Siri, give me another number between 68 and 69. 69, that is New England. I know SGYT is here. Is Dan here by chance for jerseys? All blues, red helmets. That's the Ron controller. No, those are just the home jerseys with the white pants. This. Okay, so New England can't really wear blue. Do they have like a cool throwback white jersey? They have red. Do we want New England to wear red or white? SG, anyone in the AFC? Sorry, Octi. I mean, the Bills only won 9 games. So, just saying. Right? They won 9, I think? Yeah, it seems like everyone wants red. My vote is for red, too. I want red. Do they have red pants, by chance? Anywhere? Yeah, we get Bloods versus Crips. Perfect. Do they have red here? Okay, I don't think they do. All right, that's fine. Personally, I wouldn't take that, but that's just... My team was the 2 seed. I can say my team is better. If they win and we lose today, then maybe not, but my team won 4 more games. Just saying. Who starts with the ball? It looks like the Patriots will start with the ball, so we'll get a look at Josh Allen and the New England offense first. Josh Allen was very up and down this year. He had some good moments and he had some bad moments. But we'll see what he can do here in the playoffs against, ironically, the Bills. We saw these teams playing a watch game, I think back in like week 3 or week 4. That was the game where Stephon Gilmore had like 3 picks. So we'll see if he can repeat that today. Who's the best free agent in real life? Definitely Lamar, yeah. In terms of positional value and talent, maybe in terms of just talent, it might still be him. Although there are some good ones. Finished my homework, got a 79. Improvement, right? Progress, baby steps. That's what we're looking for. And Josh Allen is picked off by Trayvon Diggs just a minute into the game, and the Bills are going to get great field position. Wow. Trayvon Diggs has been a really good pickup for them, and he makes another play. So Josh Allen continues to turn the ball over. Why is it not letting me click out of the highlight? EA, can you work? There we go. Why did that take so long? Anyway, the Bills are going to get the ball at the 28-yard line. Great field position. Trayvon Diggs does get a pick practically in like every watch game. It's weird. Octi, we must root for Mexico. The president, Jacoby Brissett, has stated if we upset the communist commies, the cartel will wave the white flag. What if I don't want that to happen? What if I want the commies to not be upset? Or maybe I do. I don't really care. I just want a good game. As the Bills score the touchdown, Hollywood Brown punches it in. A pretty good opening couple of minutes for Buffalo. It's early, but I don't think the Bills could have asked for a better start. Who do you think has the best chance of going to run in the NFC? I mean, obviously the high seeds are pretty good. We don't have a ton of experience with the Rams and watched, but the Monarchs have always looked good, as had the Commies. In terms of the lower seeds, I think it partly depends on how Von Miller does in watched. If he can be a wrecking crew, then it could be the Dreads. The Cougars won the Bowl last year, although I don't really trust Derek Carr entirely. And I do like the Golden Eagles for a 7 seed. But yeah, it won't be Carolina. I don't think it would have been Carolina anyway. But now we know it won't. Number 1 Bills fan of the OFL world right here. Even ahead of their own coach. Josh Allen's now trying to get into a little groove after a pretty disastrous start. We should have been the NFC South division leader, but you forgot to start Jacoby. Well, to be fair, Stetson did play pretty well in that last game. Has anyone repeated in OFL Bowl history before? Multiple times. The Rams won it twice in a row in OFL 19. We three-peated in OFL 20. And Seattle won 2 in a row last year. So apparently if you're in the NFC West, you're good at repeating. Except for the Cardinals. who only repeat NFC divisional round or NFC championship losses. But yeah, we've had 3 teams repeat. Other than OFL 21, we've had a repeat champion in every OFL. So if history repeats itself, it'll happen again. It's just a matter of when. Did the OFL 21 Bucks repeat? They won 2 of 3. They won the 3rd one and they won the last one, but they didn't repeat. But they almost did. So we've had a multi-time champion every OFL, and in 3 of them we've had repeats. If Jacoby tears his spinal vertebrae, should I start known winner Stetson Bennett or absolute dog Chris Streveler? You should pick the guy who's been arrested for public intoxication in Dallas, Texas before. New England's going to go for it on 4th and inches. I like this call. They're not really in field goal range, but they shouldn't punt it. And it works. Who repeated in OFL 22? Seattle won the first 2, and then they sucked. They went from really good to really bad quick. Not the Vikings. Wow, I didn't know. Thanks for informing me. Couple inches makes a big difference. Damn right. Couple inches alone is a lot. The Diablos won an OFL Bowl, and we lost one in 21. So we never repeated, because we only won once. Yeah, Seattle's downfall was impressive. To go from that good to that bad so quick. They had the one year where they were the 7th seed and, like, kind of made a run. Didn't Seattle make the NFC Championship one year as a 7? And lost? Or no, Seattle lost to the 7th seed. Yeah, I think New Orleans was the 7th seed. And they beat Seattle. Then they beat Toronto when Hector won MVP. And then they lost, I think, to the Giants the year the Giants won. Third and 2. What is Josh Allen up his sleeve? He's going to try to run it in, and he does. A big drive for New England to tie the game up at 7 after the turnover that started the game. So they'll make it 7-7. Looks like New England's going to give them a game. That was a long drive. 13 plays, 5.5 minutes. Now we get to see the Bills have like an actual drive. Their last possession lasted like 2 plays. New Orleans really started the downfall of Toronto and Seattle. Seattle literally never recovered after that. And then Toronto, they traded their MVP quarterback to their arch rival the following year. For Lord knows what reason. Let's see what the Bills can do. Ezekiel Elliott had a big season, and he starts off well with a gain of 10. How do you get your steaks cooked? I'm not a steak guy. I don't have a very, what's the word, diverse palate. Put it that way. Third and 1. They didn't get a short yardage play on 2nd down. So they're going to look to throw it on 3rd, and Ezekiel Elliott's wide open. They got fooled by the play-action fake. What's wrong? Nothing's wrong with steak. I just don't eat steak. I like the steak between a woman's legs. Yeah, you do you. W. Riz. Aki only eats pizza. Not only, but like, that's probably a good 60% of my food intake. So, yeah, kind of is almost only pizza. Pizza has like healthy ingredients though. It has like sugar, but it has some healthy stuff. What's the go-to pizza? A large cheese Papa John's pizza. That's the go-to. Do you eat Mexican or Asian? I eat pizza. That's your answer. But no, again, my palate is not diverse at all. So, no Mexican, no Asian, just a lot of pizza. Yeah, no, you think you're basic and picky. Wait till you meet me. I eat the same thing pretty much every day, and I enjoy it. But yeah, it's pretty much the same stuff. It's literally just meat and cheese. Yeah, but it's not pizza. Pizza's pizza. It's different. Did you know 10 plus... I thought 9 plus 10 is 21. The math ain't mathin'. Your brother refuses to eat tomatoes. Are you that picky? I'm worse. Fumble! I wasn't looking. I wasn't looking until New England recovered, so I didn't see if that was a hit stick animation or not. Let's see. Oh, that's clean out. That's a fumble. So both teams turn it over in the first half, and New England will get it back. You should try Pastel Azteca one day. What? I don't know what that is. Is it pizza? If it's pizza, then I'll try it. Put it that way. And it's intercepted! Was that like tipped in his hands? J.C. Horn, I believe, makes the play. That looked like it was tipped. Yeah, he tipped it and he picked it up nearly off the ground with one hand. How does someone like pick it up with one hand as it's falling? That's impressive. Holy cow. What a play. That's some good hand-eye coordination by J.C. Horn. What are they reviewing? If it hit the ground? It definitely did not hit the ground. That should be a clean interception. Oh, that angle looked like it kind of did. That's close. I think either way is fine. Either call. But that kind of looked like it hit the ground on that angle. Nope, they're going to give it to the Bills. It's an interception. Okay. So Josh Allen has now turned it over twice. That's a close call. It kind of looked like it hit the ground. I feel like that's a bad call, now that I kind of think about it. And the Bills gain like 25 on the first play of the new drive with Devontae Smith. Anyone who puts lettuce in my food is getting these hands. Sounds about right. Not everything is pizza. To me, everything is pizza. Do I eat pasta? No, I eat pizza. If I was Aiden Pizza, would you draft me? I would probably eat you if you're pizza. What do I eat besides pizza? I eat a lot of pancakes. I'm a pancake guy. Is Papa John... Papa John's isn't the only move. That's the go-to move. Frozen, I'm not as huge of a frozen guy. But there are a lot more good pizzas out there than just Papa John's, including Domino's. Can't wait for the discussion to be here after we bring up Domino's, as New England gets the sack, and they're going to kick. Need to try Swedish pancakes. What are Swedish pancakes? Are they pancakes? Tyree Wilson has an 84.5 wingspan. Good Lord. That is like 7 feet. That's like Giannis type stuff. Octi is playing Pizza 23 on the Pizza Station 5, recording for OF Pizza. That sounds awesome. Sign me up. Explain to me what is going on with these NCAA players going to jail and killing people. Well, to be fair to Brandon Miller and Jalen Carter, neither of them killed anybody. And we don't even know how true those situations are. I don't think you can give either of them the entire benefit of the doubt, but those cases just started. So we don't entirely know what truly happened, but we do know that neither of them killed anybody. That doesn't excuse what they did if it's true, however. Also, everyone who's saying Domino's is not bad, thank you for having, like, actual taste buds. Stetson Bennett didn't kill anyone. He was intoxicated one night. That's not the same as going to jail and killing someone. What Stetson did is not good, but I mean it's a crime, but like crimes happen. The Pizza Low Bills versus the do Pizza Linda Patriots. 3 Nick Miller. I don't think Nick Miller's a person. Well, there probably is a Nick Miller out there. Your mom ordered Domino's. Congrats. I'm jealous. All this pizza talk is making me hungry. Wasn't Stetson trying to get to his own house while drunk? I don't know exactly what he did. I just know he was publicly intoxicated, and it was clearly bad enough to where the cops had to be called and involved. But it's not like he's a horrible person for what he did. By the way, what a punt. Down at the 7. Is Will Bryant a real person? I don't think so. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. There's not a Will Bryant that I know of. Yeah, what is a Harris Teeter? I've never heard of that. Again, I'm not the person to get food opinions off of, but I've never heard of that. Little Caesars is second best behind Domino's. Little Caesars isn't bad. I don't think it's as high for me as Domino's and Papa John's, but Little Caesars is solid. Nick Nader would rather eat pizza from a made-up place than eat Domino's. Well, sometimes like non-chain pizza is good. I prefer chain pizza. I assume a lot of people would disagree, and I mean, there are some really good non-chain pizzas out there. Put it that way. Pizza Hut is overrated. I'm not a Pizza Hut guy either, although I don't think I've had Pizza Hut a whole lot. But yeah, I'm not a Pizza Hut guy compared to the other chains. Harris Teeter Bros. That is kind of a cool name for a store. Teeter. Do you have an Aurelio's or a Roasties near you? No, I definitely said that wrong. I have never heard of either of those places. I do have other like non-chain pizza places like near me, but I've never heard of those two places. It's an East Coast store. Well, what if you live on the East Coast and have never heard of it? Rosati's. Yeah, but I've never heard of that either. I sent you a picture of Swedish pancakes. Are they like actually pancakes, or is that like just a name for a different food? Yeah, I don't know if those look too like thin to be pancakes. You should eat Bambino's pizza. Again, I've never heard of that, but if it's pizza, it's probably good. You can make them thicker. Okay, I'm now a little bit more intrigued. I like them thick. Because I know a thing or two about that, don't I? I'll ask my mom for a recipe. The problem is I can't cook. Like, I physically cannot cook. Cool just said to bring weapons to school. That doesn't sound like a good idea. Weapons in school are bad, kids. Don't bring weapons to school. Better yet, just, like, don't use weapons. Bambino's Pizza sounds like a New York chain that also sells Babe Ruth memorabilia. Yeah, if you're not like a chain, but you sell pizza, you need to make your restaurant name like Italian for it to be good. It has to sound Italian. Like Bambino's is good. That sounds Italian. What did I just walk into? We were talking about pizza. because I like pizza. Do you stay strapped 24/7? I don't. No. Or go to school. Yeah, just don't go to school. How about that? I ever tried... I only eat cheese pizza. Again, my plate is not diverse. Papa's Pizzeria. That's as Italian as it gets. Papa. Just plain Papa. And New England takes their first lead of the game. Who's that? Washington. Darnell Washington, the future Lion. Octi out here ready to die at 28. Not everything in pizza's bad, though. You got tomatoes, which you're getting your vegetables. Tomatoes a vegetable. I will die on that hill. Bread and cheese aren't... I guess it depends on the person, but they're fine. And then a little bit of sugar doesn't hurt. So it's fattening, but it also has some like good parts. Tomato is a vegetable. I will die on this hill. And I will not be told otherwise. It is a vegetable. Those don't have a lot of time, only 48 seconds. They do have all 3 timeouts, though. If it has seeds, it's a fruit, but it's a vegetable. I think the only way to cancel out the bad pizza is to double the amount you're eating because of PEMDAS. Perfect. Will you help me knock down your school? No, I will not help you with that. That sounds like a non-good idea. Buffalo's down to 1 timeout after Cam Jurgens got hurt. They're moving it decently well. They have it at the 45. It's not a good idea. You don't want to do that. You don't want to knock down your school. That sounds like a... You know how much trouble you'd get in? You would, like... probably not be able to go to any school, like, ever again. Do you want to work at, like... a fast food place your whole life? If you do, then fine, knock down the school. I don't really care. But if you don't want to do that, then I would probably stay in school, kids. Not if you don't get caught. I guess so. But I feel like there's a way to catch you. If they're going to call that a catch, they will. And he was out of bounds, so the clock stops. Although the clock would have stopped anyway, but point remains. Lawrence now goes downfield, and it is nearly caught. That was a good throw. Let's say you have a 24-year-old superstar running back, and the best player available is currently a running back. Why take him? Because you have a superstar running back? BPA is important, but, like, you also have to make sure they can, like, play for your team. There are certain positions that are, like, outliers, in a sense. Like, running back as a whole is an outlier because running backs are basically in their primes as soon as they sign the contract to join your team, and by the time they're 27, half of them can barely walk. Quarterback's different as well because they're so important, but overall, you should try to draft one of the best football players on the board, while also seeing a path for them to get playing time. So if you have, if let's say, hypothetically, you're in the second round, and you need a starting right guard really badly, right? The 15th best player on your board is a guard, but there are some really good players in the secondary on the board, and you could look to add some more depth in the secondary. You've got some guys who might be getting a little bit older. You draft a defensive back. You can find a serviceable right guard either later in the draft or with a trade or with a signing. As the Patriots lead 14-13 going at halftime. Second group of D-line is running the 40. So, like, a new group of players or the same players running their second 40s? Or did they already... Or are those guys already done? Like, done. The later rounds are not meant to fulfill needs because most of the players in the later round aren't good. You should, like, address most of your needs before the draft. Sign solid depth guys in free agency and make sure that there isn't, like, a glaring hole on your roster going into the draft. Some positions, like quarterback, can be a little bit of an exception. Oh, this is the edge rushers now. Okay. I wonder how Tyree Wilson is going to test. Is he testing? Since he's like a top-of-the-line prospect, he might not be. Did the Cougars make the divisional round? They have not had their game yet. As a guy who wants to be an NFL GM, BPA is more important than need. Exactly. That's not to say need isn't important, and you want to draft somebody who ideally fills a hole on your roster, but you also want to make sure you're getting good football players. Like, the first time I ever got into the draft, really, I would say, was probably 2014, and I assumed you just focused on need, because, you know, I'm an ignorant little 10-year-old or whatever. So, I remember the Texans with the number 1 pick, they kind of needed a quarterback. Everyone was saying they were going to pick Clowney, and I'm like, no, they shouldn't do that, because they have J.J. Watt at defensive end, and they have Antonio Smith, was that the other starter's name? And he was like a fine player. But you don't pass on Jadeveon Clowney because of Antonio Smith, who was probably off their roster within like 2 years anyway. Instead of reaching on like Blake Bortles or Johnny Manziel. Not that Jadeveon Clowney lit the world on fire, but point remains. I think we should eliminate the draft and rookies become free agents. That sounds like the worst idea I've ever heard in my life. How good of a draft do I need to win the OFL Bowl? Probably pretty good. And, like, other good players, too. Zeke loses 6. Yeah, the Ravens picked Kyle Hamilton because he was the best player on the board. Yeah, I had Taj Boyd in the top 10 because I thought, like, because Taj Boyd was a good college quarterback, that means he's going to be, like, a good NFL prospect. Because, again, I didn't know any better. Taj Boyd ended up going in, like, the 6th round and never played an NFL snap. But he was good at Clemson, and I figured, hey, there are 5 teams in here who could use a quarterback, so why don't I just give them all quarterbacks who were good in college, including Taj Boyd. Hell, A.J. McCarron was in that draft class. I might have had him up there, too. The Bills are going for it on 4th and 1. Interesting. They give it to the fullback, and he got it. Do you think the Lakers are making the play-in? Probably not. Which is funny. Because seeing them fail is kind of funny. You don't have to be a good college quarterback to be a good pro if you have the tools. Exactly. And just because you're a good college quarterback doesn't mean you're a good pro. Me being a child, I didn't know that, which is fair. But, yeah, I think it's fair to say I've learned a lot in the last 10 years, put it that way. Example, Anthony Richardson. Boom. Whereas, fumble again. Bills picked it up, though. Whereas you have a guy like Stetson Bennett, who won 2 national championships and was a Heisman finalist, he's probably a 5th-round pick or something. Because he doesn't have the physical tools to be a total stud. If I was 10 years old, I would have thought, why would Anthony Richardson ever go before Stetson Bennett? For our thing, I almost picked the Lakers for 2024. I mean, if they add some more pieces, I wouldn't count on it. Devontae Smith with the touchdown. The Bills are probably going to go for 2 to try to take a 7-point lead. And they got it. Nice catch. I don't know who caught it. That's 86. Smith is 88. My idea was just Kyrie Irving. The thing with that is once Kyrie Irving signs his new contract, is he going to try or is he just like not going to like play basketball again? Whether it's in Dallas or with the Lakers or whoever. If the Lions draft me 6 overall, I'm winning 6 MVPs and 10 championships as a rookie. That sounds pretty good. Is your name Anthony Richardson by chance? If he's with LeBron, he might try. I suppose. If he realizes that he can actually win something, then maybe. But with Kyrie, you never know. Because he's a wild card personality. Put it that way. Yeah, there's a guy, Jose Ramirez from Eastern Michigan, I think led the country in sacks. I don't think he's like all that spectacular of a prospect. I think he got drafted into one of the spring leagues. But, yeah, he had a bazillion sacks for Eastern Michigan. Dead Ness is almost... I'm curious to see what he tests out, because he should test well. I can't see Kyrie on the Lakers. I don't blame you because, I mean, do they have the money to sign him? Unless Kyrie wants to go for no money, which I doubt. He's played by Sutton. Nolan Smith's another guy who should run fast because Nolan Smith's not that big. So he should test well. At least in terms of, like, speed and agility and stuff. I sometimes forget Kyrie has a ring, even though he made the biggest shot, not just in your team's history, but one of the biggest shots ever. That feels so long ago, but it also feels like it was yesterday. I don't think your cap is going to be ruined. Candy didn't, like, mess up your team's money before you were hired. And there are teams, cough, Eagles, cough, with like a $90 million cap penalty. So I think you'll be fine. At least in comparison to other teams. But yeah, it does feel like half the teams of the league traded their first-round fantasy draft pick for Lord knows what reason. I had a dream I got signed to Detroit and trucked Quay Walker. Did Quay Walker then, like, injure a trainer again? Imagine not having 2 first. Facts. Imagine that. Imagine not being able to get a position player for your defense and Anthony Richardson. Can't relate. I will forever love Kyrie and always ask, why is he such an idiot? That's fair. Because he is sometimes an idiot. New England's moving well. They can tie it soon. If I'm ever a water boy and Quay Walker pushes me, I'm squaring up like I'm Jordan Clarkson. I would pay to see that. Yeah, 4-8. That's solid. Imagine not trading your first for Mac Jones while still having another first. That's impressive. Because your pick is probably going to be high, presumably. I'd stab him. Okay, then. All right. Jerome Boger retired. We did it, guys. Jerome Boger is gone. That neo-fascist ref. Now we just need Carl Sheffers to join him. Wasn't Travis Etienne an Offensive Player of the Year candidate, too? 13 carries, 29 yards. Eek. Nolan Smith is up next. I am curious to see what he runs. I'm also curious to see what he weighs in at. I would assume they've revealed that already. But I'm curious to see what his weight number is. 3rd and 3. A touchdown for New England, and we are tied up. Darnell Washington again. The future Lion with 2 touchdowns. 238. Oh, he's only 6'2" and 1/4. PFF had him at like 6'3", 235, I think. Before this. 4.44. Woo! He can fly, clearly. Would be nice if he was like, you know, not a twig. But 4.44 is pretty fast. And Lucas Van Ness presumably should run a good time, too. Nolan Smith ran the same times as... Fields only ran a 4.44? I know they didn't have the combine that year, but he still would have ran at his pro day. I'm surprised Fields wouldn't have ran faster. I feel like he's faster than that. 4.64, that's not bad. Because Van Ness is a lot bigger than Nolan Smith. Yeah, he's 6'5", 272. He's a lot bigger. So 4.64 is not bad. Van Ness is one of those overrated prospects. I don't really know how to feel about him. I feel like he could be good, but I'm not sold on him either. Fields ran a 4.43. I'm surprised he didn't run faster. I feel like he's faster than that. I feel like I would have known if he ran faster, though, but it definitely feels like, at least this season in-game, he was fast. 6'1", 190, what would you run? I guess it depends on how fast you are. Yeah, Van Ness could be really good, but he also wasn't like a full-time... He never was a full-time starter for Iowa, so he's kind of a weirdish player. But I think someone's going to take a chance on him early. Green Bay. I think they could like him for the same reasons why they liked Rashawn Gary, which obviously worked out quite well. Because Rashawn Gary's pretty good. I remember I really wanted us to get Rashawn Gary. He does. He feels exactly like a Green Bay pick. He feels like their type of player who they would pick over someone who can catch the ball. The Raiders GM said they're not trading for Rodgers. I don't buy that for a second. He can say that all he wants, but they're going to at least try. Yeah, Byron runs from Bama, I think, which is ironic. And it's intercepted. Stephon Gilmore continues to own Trevor Lawrence. He gets another pick here. Stephon Gilmore literally owns this franchise. The graphic says then I guess he's from Tennessee, and the draft class was wrong. Can New England win the game with 5 minutes left on the clock? Transferred from Bama. Okay. That's why I associated with Alabama with him. Wait, there's two Byron Youngs? What the hell? I could have sworn there's a Byron Young from Bama. As Will Anderson, speaking of Alabama pass rushers, gets a sack. Can we watch Mexico next? Siri decides the rules, not me. There's actually two Byron Youngs. I didn't know that. There's two of them? What are the odds? And there's a Bryce Young, who goes to the same school as one of the Byron Youngs. Are you guys sure there's two Byron Youngs? I don't think this is right. Huh, I'll be damned. There's two Byron Youngs. Okay. I didn't know Tennessee had one. You learn something new every day. Baldwin, isn't that the guy that Danny drafted with the cool name? Habubakuk, or however you say his name? So now that we're at the beginning of the alphabet, are these guys running their second 40s now? Oh, I thought that was picked off. I thought Gilmore had it again. So I assume Tyree Wilson isn't testing, and Will Anderson's not either? Another sack. Both pass rushers looking really good right now. Christian Wilkins. Tyree Wilson's not testing because of his foot. Okay. I don't know if he would have tested anyway. He's already had a good week because I've seen that he's interviewed really well. And a 7-foot wingspan officially doesn't hurt. I wonder what DeJuan Jones' wingspan is going to be. I forget which day they had the offensive lineman in. Anderson might be part of the linebackers. Yeah, that might be true. Are they doing, because NFL doesn't like to portray edge as a position because the NFL is stupid. But, yeah, I think the linebackers usually go with the DBs. Or not, DBs, the defensive line and linebackers go today. Okay. So what, DBs get their own day, or do they go with another position group? I don't remember, but we'll find out, I guess. Is that the 2-minute warning? Yes, it is. New England can win it right here after getting a big sack. Josh Allen legacy drive. Let's see it. They should start with good field position. Wow, that's a booming kick. Holy moly. Owibawara won a 4.55. Isn't he like 280? That's insane. These guys are freaks. DBs are tomorrow. I thought they usually save DBs for the end. Maybe not. If we ever had a touchdown in OFL history, we've never had a touchdown before. No. No, we've never had one. Totally. Nice catch. DBs and special teams tomorrow. QBs, wide receivers, tight ends on Saturday. Do running backs get their own days? What a catch in the back of the end zone. Good Lord. DeAndre Hopkins with the touchdown. I forgot offensive linemen existed. I wonder what Devin Akane is going to run from Texas A&M. He's going to run something ridiculous. The second number is probably going to be a 2. When's the last time a running back has run a sub 4.3? You don't see many, like, ridiculous speedsters at running back, at least recently. Not that speed is, like, the end-all, be-all stat for a running back, but... yeah, I'm curious to see how all these running backs do. Charbonnet. Jahmyr Gibbs is probably going to run something crazy, too. I don't know if Bijan is testing. I want to see what he runs, because he's not, like, a super speed demon. The Bills have 55 seconds and all 3 timeouts. That dude from the small college last year. A running back? I know Tyquan Thornton ran a super fast time. He went to the pass. Oh, Pierre Strong from South Dakota State. I don't remember what he ran, but I know he can move. I want to see Sean Tucker. I will be pleased to see Sean Tucker, too. Yeah, they drafted Pierre Strong from South Dakota State in the 4th round. I don't know if that's who you're referring to. What would you offer us for D-Hop? I'm not offering pick 18 for D-Hop. No, I'm good. And what else? I'm not offering pick 18 for a wide receiver who's old. He's still good, but I'm not offering a first-round pick for him, especially when we don't even really need him. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if we invest a semi-high pick in a receiver. Maybe not a first-rounder, but like a day 2 pick. But I'm not offering a first-rounder for D-Hop. It's Ramsey or, like, a player, like actually drafting a player. What a throw! Down to the 17, and the Bills still have 2 timeouts. Would you trade like a third? Maybe I would do a third. I would think about it. I would think about a 3rd and a 4th. But we would have to make the money work. Put it that way. Oh, New England had like 3 chances to end the game with an interception. Second and 10. Trevor's taking his time. Can't take too much time. There's not a whole lot left on the clock, and they get it to the 1, and they still have a timeout. Do y'all think we're going to see a player run a sub 240? I think we will. I think it's going to happen someday, because we've been close. I think it'll happen. Why would you throw it to the flat? Why would they do that? So now the Bills are out of timeouts, and they're going to be able to run maybe 2 plays at best. If that, there's only 5 seconds. They might only have time for 1. Lawrence goes short, and they got it. Touchdown for Hollywood Brown, and we are tied up pending the kick with 2 seconds left on the clock. I think we might even get to a 4-1 flat. What was Usain Bolt's 40? He's definitely run a professional 40 before. Go for 2. Madden would never go for 2. What's going on? Oh, there we go. I was like, why are they not showing us the kick? But yeah, I don't think Madden would ever go for 2. We get to see the new overtime rule. I forgot. Yeah, they did update that in the game, so both teams will get a possession. KJ Henry went from a 4.71 to a 5.07. Wow. These times are all unofficial, so maybe that'll change, but holy cow. Usain Bolt said he was a 4.22 in some sweats and shoes. So if he really tried, he probably could have done a little better. Which I guess makes sense. He's freaking Usain Bolt. All right, we're officially going to overtime. Tails never fails. You know what to do, Buffalo. Bo Jackson was rumored to run a 3.9. Yeah, I don't know if that's true. Tails never fails. The coin toss still matters. Not as much as it would, but it's still... Yep, tails never fails. Thanks for listening, Buffalo. Congrats on the win. So Buffalo gets a possession. New England gets a possession. But winning the coin toss still matters, because if both teams score the same amount of points on their first possession, then Buffalo gets the ball and a touchdown wins. Or any score wins, I think. Does anybody know, like, let's say both teams score a touchdown. Would a field goal then win the game for Buffalo? I would think so. Or would they have to score a touchdown to end it? Yeah, the new overtime rules are in Madden. I'm 99% sure. If not, then we were lied to. But I'm pretty sure. He ran around a 3.840. Good Lord. Why is the combine showing mid? You're calling him mid? The disrespect on Aaron Glenn's name. Aaron Glenn turned a bunch of door dashers into an average defense by the end of the year. Trevor Lawrence fumbles the ball, and the Bills pick it up. Or not the Bills. Yeah, yes, the Bills. I'm stupid. Vita Vea with the sack, and now it's any score wins. Tyler Lacey ran a 5.15 and a 5.19. There's a reason why I don't know who Tyler Lacey is. Put it that way. I intentionally said mid to get me riled up. Well, congratulations. He's not mid. Hall of Fame instigator. If both teams keep scoring on each other, it won't stop until... Well, no, that's not how it works. If both teams scored, then its next score wins. It's like normal overtime rules. Yeah, Aaron Glenn's defensive talent sucked. But once we fired Aubrey Pleasant, things turned around, and I was very wrong about Aubrey Pleasant. I thought firing him was a mistake. As Travis Etienne finally gets a good run. Has there ever been a kicker punt return in OFL when actually watching? Yes, but not recently. I can't remember the last... Didn't we have one in the playoffs last year with the Beats and the Shamrocks? I feel like we did. The only other one I can think of was an OFL 20, and Antonio Gandy Golden, that name's kind of a blast from the past at this point, had a game-winning kick return at the buzzer in a watch game. Nice sack for Grady Jarrett. Second and 19. If the Bills get a stop, then its next score wins. And running screens isn't going to help New England's case. Although they did get decent yardage. They got 7. I remember an AGG was supposed to be good. He was supposed to be a beast. Shame it didn't work out. 3rd and 12. They go for the check down, and it almost worked. I think New England's probably going to punt it. But you can make the argument that they should go for it. Or maybe not kick. Okay, they're going to punt. That's fine. Honestly, I almost would go for it. Although if you don't get it, then it's pretty much game over. But you're putting the game in the hands of your defense. Do you trust him to get a stop? Do I remember we had Buckshot 1 and Buckshot 2. We had 2 of them. Mike Morris is from Michigan. He's actually kind of decent. He's probably a day 2 guy, maybe. Who's AGG again? Antonio Gandy Golden. He was a wide receiver from Liberty. And for those who don't know, Apple is a diehard Liberty fan, so we know AGG And both of the buckshots pretty well around here. 3rd and 4. I don't think he got it. Oh, they're going to give it to him. Okay. Imagine Apple being active. Before last year, Apple was one of the most active coaches in the league for like 3 years. I guess he just got busy. Life happens. I get it. Apple's now focused on his gambling career. I guess someone's got to be a Liberty fan. There's got to be one out there. Fumble! Picked up by New England. If this play stands, I think this is pretty much game over. But let's see. I don't think that's a fumble from that angle. But we need another look. Knees down. That's not a fumble. He's down. What? They're not reviewing? Hold the phone. That did not look like a fumble. And they're not going to review it. So that's pretty much the game. Buffalo got lucky with a call earlier in the game with the interception by J.C. Horn. But, man. Let's see. Oh, no, that is a fumble. That's a fumble. He's not down and the ball's out. Okay. They made the right call. Never mind. We just got a bad angle. Oh, are they kicking right now? Okay, that was fast. All right, it looks like New England's going to try to win the game. 34-yarder for Jake Elliott. To bring New England into the divisional round. Kick is up. It looks good. And it is good. New England's moving on to the divisional round as they win 31-28 in overtime. With an Ezekiel Elliott fumble costing the game away for Buffalo. This was a very good first watched game. Holy cow. Quite the start. Both QBs were pretty good. I wouldn't say great, but they were good. Hey, look, it's Brian Gutekunst. I bet when they had the wide receiver testing, he's just going to walk out of the building. And his scouts are only going to tell him how the receivers who are 6'4" and run 4.6s or worse ended up doing. All right, so now we're going to do one of the Simcast games. DeAndre Swift is being traded to the Bills. What the hell? Like, actually? Huh? Really? Like, seriously? Like, for real? Oh. I thought you were being serious. Because that could make like a little bit of sense with the recent Swift reports. Oh, do you mean like in OFL? Oh, I'm stupid. I thought you meant in real life. I'm dumb. Okay. So yeah, the other two Simcast games are the Bengals game and the Broncos game. Siri, give me a number between 289 and 290. 289. Our game is first, so I guess we're going to do our game. Oh boy. Siri, give me a number between -1 and 0. 0. We'll use the Bengals. Oh boy, here we go. I think I don't think Jamal Williams can take being the only guy. Like, having him is good, and we need to re-sign him, and I think we will. But having another guy like Swift or somebody else is also important. So, Swift is talented. He has his flaws, which is why I'm not opposed to drafting a running back this year. I would not want, like, a Miles Sanders. I feel like that'd be kind of pointless. If we get a running back, we might as well pick one. Jamal Williams is not being cut because his contract is up. He's a free agent. He can't be cut. He's not under contract. But yeah, he'll be re-signed. And if not, then I'm going to cry. Nolan Smith didn't run a second time. I don't blame him. 4.44 is pretty fast. Okay, this is not going all that well. Good. Not good. Oh, God. Are we actually going to lose this? We got to go faster. Or slower, I mean. Defense, please stop him. Yes. Chase Young. I chase young kids with the sack. Boom, and then a big touchdown for Joe Mixon. 55-yarder ties it. Boom. Okay. And then they score a long touchdown. Sky Moore for 50. Oh, boy. 3rd and 6, incomplete. We're going to lose this game, aren't we? Oh, my goodness. We're going to lose this game. That's crazy. Okay, good. 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 Keep moving it. 3rd and 5. Come on, Maddie. Nope. Might as well go for it. Just please don't kick. Incomplete. Come on. Did I just say he threw it away? Maddie, what the hell are you doing? 3rd and 6. Big sack. Oh, penalty. Okay, that works. Sure. Good. Good. Keep moving. Jesus Christ. Why would we do a QB run? If we get a stop, I'll hop in. 3rd and 4. Penalty on the offense. Then how's it 1st down? Oh. Yikes. That's not good. That's not good at all. Okay, so they're up by 10. We'll stay simming. Oh, now the offense chooses to move down the field. Okay, now we do. Great. And the 2-seeded Cincinnati Bengals, who won 10 straight games in the regular season, are now eliminated from the playoffs. Fantastic. You can't... Let's look at it this way. You can't lose in the divisional round again if you don't get there in the first place. Matt Corral, disaster class. It's not like he played horribly, but that's 2 years in a row where we've been the 2 seed and we've lost in the first round. At least we scored, though. Unlike last year. At least we scored a point. Jambo played well. That's good. Quentin Nelson only allowed 1 sack. Progress. Josh Allen played well. That's nice. Every year in the OFL, 2 seed loses. Every year it happens. And it happens again at the expense of the Bengals. Shucks. All right, let's move on to the next game. I did not see that one coming at all. This is 1. This is 2. Siri, give me a number between 1 and 2. 1. Give me another number between 1,000 and 1,001. 1,000. So that would be Mexico. Matt Corral Pack Watch. It's just 1 season. We won 13 games. It was a good season. It just ended like horribly. All reds, all whites. Easy enough. Make sure Jacoby's starting. I think I changed it. If not, I will. Have to watch the Cougars later. Well, thanks for coming in nonetheless. Yep, he's good. All right, there we go. We've got the Commanders and the ketchup bottles. So if Washington wins, they would play the Rams. If the Golden Eagles win, they would play the Monarchs. Yeah, that's exactly what we need. A Hector into Games playoff game. Dear Lord. He was meat riding a certain team. I was trying to be unique. Looks like Washington will start the ball, so we'll get a look at Mac Jones and the offense first. Every year, a two-seeded loses in the playoffs, and we've already had a two-seed lose today. So, that means the Commanders are not guaranteed to lose. I tried to pull two teams out of nowhere, and he did the same thing. Well, great minds think alike. I believe Alvin Kamara is still hurt, if I remember correctly. So we still have Najee Harris as the lone running back for the Commies. The show on current gen doesn't let you download expansion teams. It doesn't let you do that on next gen either. You can the only way you can like relocate or make a quote unquote expansion team is if you make your own. That's why I haven't done like big rebrands for MLB The Show like I do with 2K, because I would have to make the jerseys myself, and I'm not good at that, unfortunately. Y'all being unique. I had Braves over Astros. Well, we weren't that unique with like the World Series picks, but like maybe I think I was, but yeah, it was kind of hard to be unique because I feel like the 12 teams made the playoffs last year are like the 12 best teams in the league, and I have a feeling at least 2 or 3 of them at the bare minimum won't make it in this year. So I had to go a little bold. I was a 2 seed both times. I went to the OFL Bowl and the AFC Championship game. I assume the 2 seed in the NFC lost both years. So now we get to see the Golden Eagles offense featuring Jacoby Brissett, who was really good this year and then he was benched. I don't know why. Hector, do you care to explain? And now he's back. A gut feeling the pinstripes are going to disappoint. I could see that. I don't want to spoil what I ended up picking, but I don't know if I trust anybody else in the AFC East, or the AL East. I'm stupid. Padres win it at all. I'm afraid you know ball. Welcome to the club. I didn't want dev regression is off. Stetson Bennett wasn't going to lose his dev. We don't have dev regression on. Yankees winning what? Yankees winning at Wall? That's ironic because their wall in right field is like 2 feet off the ground. Kareem is an animal. He treated those linebackers like his girlfriend. Jesus. Was he kicking them too? I'd San Diego finishing with the best record in the MLB. Wow, everybody's on the Padres train. I thought I was special. Hey, did Greg Dortch just catch that ball? He did. Greg Dortch just had a catch. Imagine being on the Padres train. I feel like I should have learned. I've been on the Padres train for a while, and they found a way to disappoint me. So now I'm doubling down. But I feel like it just feels like this is their year. Want to go cry to your daddy in Houston? Who has San Diego cracking the playoffs in the OFL? Let's see who your quarterback is, and then maybe. I just want to see Soto win a ring. He would have 2 rings by the time he's like 25. That's pretty insane. The Padres are basically the Chargers of the MLB. You're right. Because you always think they're going to take that next step, and they always find a way to shoot themselves in the foot. That's a really good comparison. They're literally the Padres of baseball. The Padres, the Clippers, and the Chargers are like the same team. You can't convince me otherwise. The second in command to the big LA team. He has one. Yeah, but he would have another. I think that was Jax's point. He already has a ring. It's Stephen Kwan's time now. Yeah, I don't know if Juan Soto and Stephen Kwan are quite in the same thing. But point remains. Mexico's moving the ball well. They look good so far. Wouldn't be the only 7th seed. Anyways, Bryce needs a ring. Well, I don't know if he's getting it. 2nd and 3. Brissett is sacked. Preston Smith. Not the guy you would have expected to make that play because the Commies have both Aaron Donald and Max Crosby. That 2019 MLB season was a fever dream. Yeah, it's crazy the Nationals were so good, and now they're bad enough to where they're on the challenging end of a franchise series. Quite the contrary from 3 years ago. If Mexico makes the kick, they lead 3-0. Kevin Jasha has the grit we need. Well, that's what the Chargers need, grit. They need someone who, like, isn't going to charger you, if that makes sense. Saw an NL Central prediction today, and I don't agree. Where did they have the Cubs finishing? That's what I'm curious about. And I know I'm not alone in that sentiment. Do you have a list of, like, 5? I think I do have, like, a couple teams at the top. And I do kind of have, like, one team who I kind of like better than the rest. But, like, I'm not, like, sold on them at all. But there is one team that I think has the slight edge for me right now. And then a couple who are, like, close behind. And we'll probably have the vote within the Discord later this week. Maybe tomorrow. So then the YouTube poll will be up within the next few days. Opinion on the Phillies. I think they could really fluctuate. I think they could be really good. They have the high-end talent to do so. But I also see a world where their run last year was a little bit fluky. I think on paper they're really good. But I don't know. I could see a world where the Phillies disappoint. Will that team happen to be in the NL? Maybe the NL West? I'm not saying it. I'm not saying. I nearly put the Cubs in the end. The Cubs are good. They're going to be good. As we both talked about in the show. Again, I don't want to spoil too much, but we both like the Cubs quite a bit. The Cubs could be a playoff team, but they're also like a good franchise team as well. I'm not saying they're the team that I'm referring to at the top, but the Cubs are very interesting. I'm really curious to see how they do. AL Central had someone interesting in first. Well, if it's not Cleveland, would it be like Minnesota? I can't justify putting the Phillies ahead of the Braves, maybe the Mets. Yeah, I could. I just couldn't put the Phillies below or ahead of them. But I see a world where they finish higher than them. Is this the last season of Guardians? I think at this point it's fair to say yes, because the game comes out in like 3 weeks. I wanted to give myself more time in between MLB The Show 22 ending and MLB The Show 23 being out. I was hoping to give myself like 3 weeks, and ironically, tomorrow the game comes out in 3 weeks. And obviously we're not done yet. But yeah, I think we'll be able to finish well on schedule. And we're obviously going to have a long-term sim, yes, after the World Series this year. White Sox and Twins were ahead of them. Wow, okay. That's bold. Do you think the show 23 will let us... I think they're doing their franchise reveal, I want to say next week. Like where they're revealing the features and whatnot. Let me check the date again. I think it's soon. And apparently there are some real changes to franchise mode from what I've seen. So I'm excited. Franchise is next Thursday. Today they're doing question mark, what does that mean? And Road to the Show. And then next week they're doing franchise in March to October. So we'll find out next Thursday. Nolan Smith said that he wasn't running full speed. Then why didn't he run again if he wasn't running full speed? He was furious because 4.4 isn't up to my standards. 4.4 is a good number. Even though he's skinny. I've made it. Welcome in. Congrats on making it. He said he runs like a 4.3 normally. Jesus. Holy cow. That's fast. Reminds me when a safety driver expert, Henry Ruggs, was disappointed with a 4.26. Yeah, I remember watching that combine that year, being so excited at the receivers. Not just Henry Ruggs, but like KJ Hamler, who I don't think ended up running, and then Jalen Reagor, who ran like a 4.5. I feel like that should have been the sign to me with Jalen Reagor, because I thought he was going to be pretty good. But I feel like that should have been the sign, like when he ran close to a 4.5, that maybe he's not as good as we thought. I have a Steelers coach, yes. Well, boy, do I have some news for you. That, does someone else want to tell him? I don't want to tell him. I don't want to relive that. But, yeah, you guys beat us in the first round of the playoffs. So, congrats. Yeah. Steelers lost. It was sad. Man, I wish. Remember, Goodhouse was hyping up Reagor to Philly before the draft, and I was happy when we picked him. I thought it was a solid pick at the time. I had Jefferson ahead of him, but I thought Jalen Reagor was going to be pretty good, and I was pretty wrong. This game is so low scoring. The first game we watched was super high scoring. Quite the contrary. As Washington looks to take the lead, now nearing the goal line. Yeah, Reagor was literally a speedster. I thought he was going to run like a 4.3 something. That's why I was really excited to see his time. He ran like a, I don't know, I think it was a little less than a 4.5, but still, he didn't run a very good time. Jefferson ran faster. He ran like a 4.42, which I remember at the time was a really good number for him, and that like cemented him as a first-round pick. And obviously, he ended up being a little bit more than a traditional first-round pick. Philly can get that Northwestern edge, I'd be really happy. Yeah, he'll probably be second or third round, if I were to guess. I remember mocking Jettis to the Bills at 22, thinking he could have moved to the top 15 with a good combine. Well, he performed well during the combine. Made it clear that he was a first-rounder. And, well, he's been pretty good so far. Pretty good. He ran a 4.43. Yeah, he ran faster than Jalen Reagor, which is ironic. And now here we are. The two of them are teammates. Quite the dynamic duo. The two of them combined for like 1,800 yards this year and won Offensive Player of the Year. That's a pretty good duo. Yeah, Jefferson was drafted with the pick that the Vikings got for Diggs. And obviously that trade has worked out quite well for both sides. As Brissett's nearly picked off. Reagor at a 4.47. Yeah, he was supposed to be so fast. Kalijah Kancey ran a 4. Yeah, he had a good time. A little bit small, but he ran well. So, I think at this point he's probably the second defensive tackle off the board, unless something new comes out about Jalen Carter and his stock really slips. But yeah, I don't think Brzie's going to go higher than Kancey, and that's more so on Brzee. More so that I'm just lower on him, and I think the league, or at least the media, is starting to realize that like he may not be this top 10 pick that we thought he was. The D linemen keep throwing their phones and punching the scouts. Seems like I've missed a lot. Who I assume he was kidding. If not, then that'd be funny. Yeah, the Reagor was supposed to be so fast. And, well, not only was he not a speedster, but he wasn't good at anything else. I think Jalen Carter could be on camera, physically assault 15 people, and still be a top 5 pick. If those 15 people are offensive linemen, then maybe. Jalen Carter punted a scout. Brett Coleman tricked me. Not my fault. Nolan Smith, he did throw his phone. Wow. And I was watching some of his interviews yesterday. He just kind of seems like he has that dog in him. I wasn't that sold on him, and I'm still not, but he has a dog in him. I didn't believe him when he said Herbert would suck. Herbert was on my own team, and I still was not like that high on him. I had him over Tua the entire. I was a lot lower on both Tua and Herbert than everybody else was, and I had Herbert as my QB2 for most of that year. But then right at the end, I chickened out and I switched him and Tua. But I still thought both of them were concerning, and Tua's been about what I would have expected. And obviously Herbert not so much. But now I know that Mario Cristobal is an offensive coaching terrorist. His last name is Smith, and he's destined for greatness. Yeah, I feel like I'm liking him more and more, too. I'm still not sold on him in the first round, but I don't know. I have a good feeling about him. And Ojulari's an interesting player as well. Deshaun Watson touched a lot of people. Was that Greg Dortch who scored that? Was that Gregory Dortch? I know they scored, but I didn't see who. It was Greg Dortch! We had a Greg Dortch touchdown in the playoffs. It happened. I did not expect Tua to turn into fish paste. I more so meant, like, on the field. That he's not bad, but there are some physical limitations. Yeah, Cristobal's, like, not good. I can't believe when he was, like, rumored to leave, I wanted him to stay. I don't know why. Yeah, he's a good recruiter, but did we see what he did with Justin Herbert? He made him look bad. Can't wait to see BJ run the 40. Is BJ with the linebackers? Is that why he's not going with some of the other edge rushers? Yeah, BJ's brother is Azeez Ojulari on the Giants. Why don't we have an edge position? Because the NFL doesn't recognize edge as a position, which is stupid. Why is Washington only running short passes? Like, if you're going to try to chew clock, just run the ball. Hate Cristobal for making me look dumb. To be fair, a lot of people didn't think Herbert wouldn't work out. So I don't feel super bad about that, even though Herbert was literally on my team, because everybody agreed. But yeah, I remember Tyler Van Dyke, Miami's quarterback, was mocked in the first round at the beginning of the year, and I'm like, yeah, no, that ain't happening. Is he even still on Miami, or did he transfer? I don't even know. But yeah, I don't think Tyler Van Dyke's going to be a high NFL draft pick anytime soon. As the Golden Eagles lead 10-7, could we have another 7-2 upset? Cristobal ruined Van Dyke after he nearly ruined Justin Herbert. Keep him away from your quarterbacks at all cost. Sure, the guy can recruit talent, but as a coach, he is painfully mid. That might even be generous. Do you think a fifth quarterback could go late in the first round? Probably not. If we did it the fifth, it would probably be either Tanner McKee or Hendon Hooker. I wouldn't rule it out, but I wouldn't bet on it. I remember when Davis Mills came out of Stanford, there were some mocks that had him in the late first round, and I thought that was stupid, and I was right. I think it's a little bit more likely, though, this year than with Davis Mills. I still don't think it's going to happen, but I don't think there's... I think there's more of a non-zero chance. I could see somebody really liking Tanner McKee. I think it'd probably be more likely him over Hooker. Unless all the quarterbacks do. I don't think Van Dyke's even in this draft. I think he either returned to school or transferred somewhere, but I don't even think he's in the draft. Yeah, Tyler Van Dyke had like a few good games as a redshirt freshman? Did he redshirt his first year? I think he did. He had some good games, and it looked like, hey, maybe this guy could be something. Then he has Mario Cristobal join him, and then not so much. Yeah, Tanner McKee would be perfect if, like, John Elway was still drafting for Denver and they didn't have Russell Wilson. How old is he? I feel like, did he go on, like, a 2-year, like, religious mission? Or was that somebody else? I feel like that was him who did that. So he might be, like, a little older. He's 22. I could have sworn he went on, like, a 2-year mission. Yeah, he went on a 2-year mission for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints before going to Stanford. Exactly. And he will turn 23 pretty much on draft night. So he's not even that old, even though he graduated from high school 5 years ago. I think all the other main quarterbacks are probably going to be pretty much 22 when they start, right? Will Levis is probably a little bit older. Will Levis might be like 24. I would have to check that because he's been in school for a while too. Isn't Will Levis 24? He'll be 24 in June. Okay, yeah. And then the other guys I think are going to be 22. Richardson is going to be 22 in May. Stroud is going to be 22 in October, so he's a little later. And then Bryce is 22 in June, exactly. So other than Stroud, everybody is going to be at least 22 when week 1 rolls around. Dude doing 2-year missions for Jesus. What a simp. Why didn't McKee go to BYU? I don't know. I guess he wanted to fulfill his mission or whatever, but he also still wanted to go to Stanford. I guess. How old is Stetson Bennett? He's old enough to order from the senior citizens menu at Denny's. Yeah, and Hendon Hooker's going to be 25. Stetson Bennett's going to be 26 in October. The pandemic year really messed things up with these ages. Yeah, Tanner McKee was like a really good... I don't remember if he was a 5-star or not, but he was good. He was a good recruit. He might have been 5 stars. I don't remember. Third and 19. Big sack for Max Crosby. His 3rd of the game. Bench Chuma. I don't do benchings mid-game because I can only use her one team. He was a 4-star. Okay, but I feel like he was a pretty high 4-star. So, yeah, he was a really good prospect coming out of high school. If Hooker didn't get injured, what range? I would still say at the earliest, day 2, because he is 25. He's not necessarily a one-year wonder because he's played a lot of football, but he's only had one really good season. So I don't think even if he was healthy, he would be a first-round pick. But the injury certainly doesn't help things, put it that way. Nice catch by Ayuk. From now on, you do. How about no? Washington's moving it pretty well. They have it in the red zone. Can they get the lead back? Saints seem like a good spot for Hooker. I don't think I would use a 29 on him. But, yeah, New Orleans would be cool for him. I found Octi's doppelganger. You found Trevor Lawrence? Minus, the additional 9 inches of height? That's not the only 9 inches he has over me, put it that way. Browns drafting Hooker to pair him. We have a woman respecter and a hooker. Huh. That's fun. Now from the 3, can Washington punch it in? They've got Najee Harris, and he does it. And the Commanders take the lead. Who needs Alvin Kamara anyway? Najee Harris could just take the load himself. Pause. Whoa. Whoa. Okay. I didn't mean to sound sus like that. All credit for Hendon Hooker goes to Virginia Tech. Hokey pokey legend. Unless he's bad. Then it's Tennessee's fault. Exactly. Seeing Tennessee fail is kind of funny. Tennessee is like the Chargers of college football. Why don't we use Kyle Juszczyk? Probably because he's a fullback. Kareem Hunt gets smothered. He has not had a big game today. You'd think he'd be kicking and screaming to get out of the backfield, but Aaron Donald has other plans. Donald's in the zone, and he sacks Jacoby Brissett. Are the wild card games on the bottom accurate? Yes. These are the scores that we had. So, in other words, yes, the Bengals lost. Notre Dame is the Dallas Cowboys. I agree there, too. Big national brand. Kind of dislikable. Wow, they converted a 3rd and 20. And they always disappoint in the playoffs. So we've got ourselves a good game here. 1 2-seed is lost already, and another 2-seed is in danger of joining them. The Commanders do lead, however, 14-10. If the Commanders win, they have a date with the Rams. If the Golden Eagles win, then they will face the number 1 seeded London Monarchs. Run the clock out. There's 8.5 minutes left. Virginia Tech is the commies of the NCAA, constant failures, never accomplished much, except at next up where they're about to win a natty after, in my opinion, wrongfully getting a first-round bye. When I originally counted the votes before I took the Duke guys out, Middle Tennessee State was 4th and Virginia Tech was 5th. And Virginia Tech I would have still given the 8 seed, which means we nearly had a Duke and Virginia Tech rematch. But then after I recounted, we didn't get it, and I was sad. How did Middle Tennessee State not get a bye again? I don't know. I voted them 3rd. I thought they should have. I thought they got disrespected. Turn, sack, sliders down. I think the sacks are fine. I mean, both of these teams have Myles Garrett, Aaron Donald, and Max Crosby. I would hope we have sacks. So now Washington will get it back. Can the Commanders make it a 2-score lead? That's not a bad start. Look at Najee go. This is just like last year where he was constantly making plays as a receiver. Not only did Middle Tennessee State get disrespected, but Florida also got screwed. How hard assuming Middle Tennessee State beats Duke. Yeah, but is Middle Tennessee State better than Georgia, Bama, or Ohio State? I don't know. Yeah, those teams all have 2 losses, but I would say Florida, in my opinion, has the easiest path to make it to the top 4 over the other first-round bye teams. Not to say Middle Tennessee State's bad, because they're, like, really good. Justin Fields was bribed to be balls. He is now a Hall of Famer. Each member on the Lions has been given 3 Super Bowl rings for what? Winning 3 games? Or was it 2? 2 or 3? I don't remember. It wasn't a lot, put it that way. Why has Najee only got the ball 8 times? They should give him the ball more. He's been playing really well. He got bribed by Andrew Tate. Okay, then. All right. Why are we playing so bad out of nowhere? Probably because you're the 7th seed and they're the 2 seed. I mean, they're better than you. That doesn't mean they're automatically going to win, as we know with the other 2 seed. Bengals. But Washington's pretty darn good. This team can win a championship. Memphis exposed Middle Tennessee State's weaknesses even though they lost. That game was close. And then in the conference championship game, Middle Tennessee State wasn't that impressive. If Middle Tennessee State doesn't score that buzzer beater touchdown, then we probably would have had Bowling Green in the playoff. Huh. Was Nolan Smith's official time moved up to a 4.39? Goodness gracious. VC, if other people want to join, then yeah, sure, I'm down. I forgot Quentin Williams was a person. That's right. You guys have him too. The amount of pass rushers across the board is wild. On both of these teams. What did Jalen Green say about Detroit? Let me pull up the quote. Fourth and inches. What do you do here? I feel like you kick. Yeah, Jalen Green said he wanted to be the number 1 pick, but he didn't want to be in the city of Detroit. With Detroit, it felt like I was just going back to the G League bubble, and I just got out of the bubble. That's pretty much what it was. I wouldn't be stepping outside in Detroit. There are not many things you can do in Detroit like that. You can stay in the gym and then go back to your apartment. That's what he said. But before the draft, he said, number 1 pick. That would be a dream come true. I want to live in Detroit. So he, contradicted himself. So Mexico City's going to have another opportunity with Washington only kicking the field goal. It's a 7-point game. Can Jacoby Brissett lead his team down the field? And that's not a good start. Another sack for the Commies. Yeah, Jalen Green was very complimentary of us before the draft, and then afterwards he does a complete flip-flop. Max Crosby has 5.5 sacks. Good God. That's a lot. Is that a playoff record? 3rd and 25. Got to look out for the safety, and it's intercepted. Jacoby Brissett is picked off, and Washington brings it to the 7 with Xavier Woods making the play. And Washington will score on the very next play. So it's now 24-10. Noah Fant with the tutty. So Washington will be up by 14 with about 2.5 minutes. What part of Simcast do you not understand? It's a 14-point game. It's kind of over, but it's still a 2-score game. What was the score of our game? 31-21. It was close the entire time, but you guys also, had to control the entire time. If it's kind of over, why keep watching? Because it's a 2-score game. It's that's the fair thing to do. If we wouldn't sim in the regular season, we wouldn't sim in the playoffs. Octi got eliminated. Yeah, he did. Mm-hmm. And that'll bring us to the 2-minute warning. The Commanders are appearing to be in a good spot. Joe Burrow is a playoff quarterback. Clearly, he outperformed MVP candidate Matt Corral. And it's intercepted again. I think now this game is a simcast. As Washington gets the pick 6. Cole Holcomb ends it for the Commies. So Washington's going to win kind of big, 31-10. This game was very close throughout. At one point, it was 10-7. But Washington does the job. They'll face off against the Los Angeles Rams in Washington for the second round of the playoffs, while the Golden Eagles are eliminated. So in typical OFL fashion, we do have a 2-seed losing, but not both 2 seeds. And after not winning a single playoff game in OFL 22, Jax now has a playoff win. Jacoby Brissett was he had the 2 interceptions late. Can't entirely fault him. And then Mac was quite efficient. I think the big difference was that Washington ran the ball really well, and they should have ran it more, whereas the Golden Eagles did not run it well. But Greg Dortch scored, and that's all that matters. Max Crosby, 6.5 sacks. That's a lot of sacks. How many total did Washington have? 10. Yeah, 10. Wow, they had 10 sacks. Gee whiz. So that'll bring us to our last Simcast game and our last watched game of the day. And the Simcast game is the Broncos and Raiders. Siri, give me a whole number between 712 and 713. 712, that is the Raiders. What's good, C-Mail? When I am inevitably a free agent, how does that work? So you can either re-sign with your current team, or once you're a free agent, other teams will be able to negotiate contracts with you, and you can pick where you want to go. Who do I want? I want the Raiders. That's who we want. So this is our last Simcast game, and then the Dreadnoughts and Cougars is our last watch game. Greg Dortch's, wouldn't it be his second playoff loss? Because he was on the team. It would be a first OFL playoff loss, but he was on the team in 2021 when the Cardinals lost to the Rams. That was a fun game. Matthew Stafford finally won a playoff game, and then a month later he won a ring. That was fun. So if the Raiders win, they would play Houston. And if no. If the Raiders win, wait, no, since the 7th seed won, the winner of this game plays New England no matter what. Okay. The winner plays New England. Nolan Smith just ran a 3.39. That's a record. Wow, the Raiders are killing them. Okay, maybe not. Yeah, definitely maybe not. Okay, they're up by 8. Now they're up by 11. And wow, the Raiders upset the Denver Broncos. So Denver and Cincinnati, the 2 and 3 seeds in the AFC, are eliminated here in Wildcard weekend. So the Raiders will play New England while the Texans will play Pittsburgh. Pandemonium in the AFC playoff picture. Desmond Ridder was really good. Trey Lance was really bad. Why did Trey Lance lead everyone in carries? The Raiders were literally tanking this year, and they made it farther than us and the Broncos. Wow, a lot of sacks. I wish myself luck. I'll need it. And now we've got our last game here with the Cougars and the Dreadnoughts. The winner will play London. Siri, give me a number between 94 and 95. Siri, give me a number between 94 and 95. 95. That is the Dreads. I don't know if either coach is here. I know the Cougars coach said he was busy, but he was here at the beginning. And I don't think Hobie is here, so I guess we can pick their jerseys for him. Oh, no, he is here. All white. Perfect. Are the home pants white? Yup. And then I guess for the Dreadnoughts, that makes our decision pretty easy. Yeah, let's ride with the all blue. I blame this loss on you. Why do you blame it on me? Oh, because we already lost, so that means the other 2 seed can't lose? Because usually it's only 1. The Cougars won the OFL Bowl last year. They have a new quarterback, however. Russell Wilson is no longer cooking in Chicago, and instead, it is Derek Carr who will face off against MVP candidate Jalen Hurts and the San Antonio Dreadnoughts. Were the Cougars the 1 seed last year? I don't remember, but they won at least 3 playoff games last year. Quick question. What's your question, good sir? There's a player named Yaya Diaby. I've never heard of him, but that's a cool name. Did you ever forgive me the games first? I don't think I did, but I will. Aren't we Simcast what? We've done 3 Simcast games and 2 watch games. This is the last watch game. Always a good stream when Octi loses. So there have not been a lot of good streams this year, have there? But yeah, we'll be back. Although this is now the sim year and the first real year where we're the 2 seed and we lay an egg. So it's kind of the pattern. Was the AFC North showdown a watched game? It was not. So thankfully we got to stick the knife in me quick and easy rather than drawn out for 45 minutes. Dreadnoughts going on a deep run with Eastman would be the funniest thing possible. There's a part of me that almost hopes it happens just because. Now that I'm out, I feel like I guess the one bright spot of us not being here is I can look at the playoffs more objectively and not biasedly. Although I'd be good if either of these teams making a run. These are both 2 pretty fun teams. It'd be a cool storyline to see the Cougars win 2 in a row. And the Dreadnoughts have a very interesting story with the whole coaching thing. So I'd be good with seeing both of these teams go on a long run. At least, yeah, we scored. We made progress. We improved from last year because we put points on the board. We'll be back. Go 17-0 to lose in the divisional. Well, at least we would have made it to the divisional round this time. Unlike the last 2 years. The Dreadnoughts completed their relocation from Germany in 1945. And apparently, Eastman's buddies are still there. Is it, raining? I didn't even notice that. It's raining. I guess it's kind of harder to notice because it's nighttime, but it's raining. CML deserves a ring. Go Texans. I'd be cool seeing Houston win. They've been the best team in the AFC this year, and CML's is obviously a really good coach. So I'd be cool seeing Houston take it all the way. I didn't make any official predictions going into the playoffs. If I did, I think I would have picked us to win it all. So I guess I'm kind of happy that I didn't make predictions, because boy, would that look stupid. Texans are the best team in the league. I'm worried about that game. They are very good. I would be worried too. But you guys showed that you could beat us, and I don't think the Texans are that much better than we are. I think they're a little bit better, but it's a game you could win. You were so close. You were a couple plays away, but then DJ Uiagalelei, the Bengals franchise savior, came in. What's the draft? We'll do the draft order at the end of this game, because I know a lot of people are curious because of probably making trades and stuff. Lamar clears Matt Corral. Yeah, you're probably right. But we're gonna ride it out with Corral. I'm gonna put my money where my mouth is and stick with him. One bad game isn't gonna define him. Although I think I said this last stream, but I've had multiple opportunities to get very good quarterbacks in trades, and I've decided not to. And I'm going to stand by that. And I might regret it when it's all said and done, but oh well. Joe Burrow clears Matt Corral, but only in the wildcard round of the playoffs. Commies are your pick. I can see the Commies winning it, and Jax has been here for a while. He's been close before. He's made the OFL ball in the past. He's made the playoffs. Has he made the playoffs every year he's been a coach? I feel like he has. God damn, that's impressive. But yeah, he's made the playoffs so many times, but has never been able to get over the hump. I could see this being the year for them. Trade for Justin Fields. Never miss the playoffs. That's impressive. But yeah, I feel like the fun thing about this season is there's a lot of like teams that you can see doing it, but there isn't like a clear favorite. Like the Texans, Monarchs, Commanders, all of them. The Bengals were in the conversation. Now they're not. But there's a lot of teams who are right at the top. And we very well could see a Cinderella, too. Wouldn't be the first time in the OFL that a surprise team wins a championship. Look at Damian Harris go. Nice play. Justin will revive his career in Cincinnati. Yeah, there's one problem with that, though. I hope Justin Fields enjoys holding clipboards. Because we're riding with Matt Corral until the wheels fall off. But I heard Justin Fields enjoys being a backup. The AFC are all going to make the playoffs. What? There's 9 AFC teams who are going to miss. So, like, huh? Ooh, that was nearly intercepted. That was a close one. Jalen Hurts is 2 yards away from the magic stat line. 6 for 9, 69 yards. You heard me. How is that possible, though? There's literally 14 playoff spots and only 7 in the AFC. I meant to say the AFC East. Well, that makes a little more sense. I don't think that's going to happen, though, but I guess it's mathematically a little bit possible. Although that would imply the Jets being good next year, and the Orbits. Although I have a little birdie that tells me the Orbits are doing something kind of big, so maybe they will be. And obviously the other 2 teams were both pretty good today. Octi's a hater. Okay. I need to see it to believe it. How far off do you see the Bills being from being a true contender? I could have seen the Bills going on a run this year. I don't think they're as good as like the top of the crop, but I think there's a world where the Bills could have made a run this year, so I would say not very far off. As the Dreadnoughts score the first touchdown of the game, Jonnu Smith for San Antonio. What do you think I'm missing to finally make a run? A competent right tackle. Jets with Shedeur Sanders going 6-11. That's improvement from 5-12. Was that the Jets' record this year? So after allowing a touchdown, the Cougars are going to get it back, trailing 7-0. What can Derek Carr do? One of my friends makes YouTube videos and someone copies his videos. Can't you just like report it and take it down? Or try to get YouTube to take it down? Oh my, he caught that. That's a pretty nice catch by Mike Williams. Not gonna lie. He's got nice hands, or on that play, nice hand, singular. And then they get a touchdown on the very next play to Darren Waller. Goodness, this game changed quickly. You think if I did a last chance U series, but with maximum football, it would be decent. I guess if you execute the idea well, then I don't see why not. So the Cougars with a 2-play, 77-yard drive to tie the game. Their offense needed a spark, and boy, they got a spark all right. When does the new Maximum Football game come out? I don't remember. I just know they had the one trailer. Did they even announce the release date yet? Okay, this says spring 2023 for Mac OS and Windows and fall 2023 for console. So there you go. So it's going to be out on PC, I guess, soon, apparently. What videos tonight? Nix's tonight. KJ Jefferson, take it or leave it? KJ Jefferson's fun. What happened? Challenging. I wasn't looking at the screen. Did I miss a fumble or a catch? It was a catch. 1, 2. I think he's in. That's close. It's kind of hard to tell if his knee hit the sidelines. Yeah, it was a catch. Okay, so the Cougars lose their timeout and their challenge. Useless challenge is, in fact, useless. Hurts under pressure is nearly intercepted. Another drop pick. Panthers reached out about Aaron Rodgers. That could, like, sneakily make sense. If Green Bay is willing to trade him in conference, why not? Marvin Jones. 4 catches, 53 yards in the first quarter for Marv. Jalen Hurts is moving well. Now at the 12. That'll probably wrap up the quarter. Don't tell me you depleted your future for the second pick. I may or may not have another little birdie that that might kind of sort of be the case. Could my mom join the Discord and get on the waiting list and be an OFL coach? Does she know anything about football? Projector, the Lions are inquiring with the Bears about pick 1. I guess it doesn't hurt to do due diligence, see if the Bears are going to give it up for, like, pennies. I don't think there's going to be anything serious with that. DM me what the birdies are telling you. Aye, aye, Captain. San Antonio now has it at the 6. They're getting close. I 100% don't know what you're talking about. Word gets out, man. Word gets out quick. Is this lineman, like, which lineman? Oh, do you mean for the OFL? I have no idea. In real life, there's some good linemen across the board. Zakai Ross, the user player, with the touchdown to put the Dreadnoughts back ahead. And with that, it's now 14-7. DM me what the birdies are telling you. I got it. So now the Cougars are going to have to answer back. Their last drive was short, but successful. Relatable. Who's spreading this? Woj. It's a Woj bomb. Another big play for the Cougars. That time it's Waller. Derek Carr has 3 passes, and they've all gone for probably at least like 30 yards. At the bare minimum. So now the Cougars are continuing to move it. They have it at the 48, already nearly at midfield. I offer 2 first my first 2 draft picks and a second next year for Zakai, and Eastman told me it wasn't enough compensation. That's a lot. If that trade happens, do we live in a scenario where the Steelers don't beat the Bengals in the playoffs? Because I prefer this scenario now. Josh Jacobs has been quite quiet today. Offensive Player of the Year candidate, only 3 carries. It's a lot, and he straight up rejected it. Didn't even negotiate. Yeah, he should have taken that. Why would you offer that? But, I mean, I guess if you want a guy, you got to go out and get him. As Tristan Wirfs has called for a hold. Isumu was quite hard to trade with. Wouldn't be the first thing Isumu was hard with. And I'm not saying that like in a sus way. I know that sounds like weird, but he was an interesting fella, put it that way. When resigning, they're coming. They're coming. Whenever I get some time to do them, I'm going to do them. 3rd and 21. It is caught. What a throw. A dot. He would have given Vaughn to me for free. I wish. He's catch by Brandon Cooks. Eastman offered me a 3rd and Robbie Anderson for Myles Garrett. Okay. Again, you miss every shot you don't take. Second and 5, Derek Carr trucks the defender, and he's pushed in for a score. He got pummeled as he was going in the end zone. So the Cougars tie it up. We've got ourselves a game, 14-14. Is there good linemen in free agency for... I don't know. I have no idea. Derek Carr, more like Lamar Jackson, am I right? What percentage is the podcast done? There's still a ways to go. Put it that way. There's still a ways to go, as in, I'm still going to try to get it done on the original day that we had mentioned, but I'm not sure if that's going to be the case. And it might be the day after. No, I did a little bit with it. I didn't have like that much time because of this. But I have done a little bit. As Jalen Hurts is intercepted. What was that? That's not an MVP-esque throw. Instead, it is a pick 6 for the Cougars. Jair Alexander. And Chicago is ahead, 21-14. You know, the Jets could have had him. Just saying. That was a very bad decision. I don't know what he was thinking when he threw that. Matt Corral did not have an MVP-esque game. No, he didn't. Thanks for reminding me. I totally forgot it by now. So now the Dreadnoughts have to answer. They can't let the Cougars continue to build up momentum. Not much there. Maybe 5. Tyrell Crosby, Lion and Oregon legend, hurt on the play. They're making defensive linemen run coverage drills. Of course they are. Aaron Rodgers will emerge from his OFL darkness retreat to lose in the divisional. Well, it's going to be one of these teams who play Rodgers in the divisional, and right now it's trending towards the Cougars. Dante Fowler Jr. Didn't he have like a really good OFL bowl game out of nowhere? Antonio Brown returned punts. Yeah, you guys remember when he like kicked the Steelers punter in the face? That was funny. That was on a punt return. Well, obviously, why else would the punter be on the field? Imagine if they have the punter lining out with Antonio Brown on one-on-one coverage. That'd be great. So we'll see if the Cougars can continue to push forward. This game was back and forth early on, but the pick six really appears to have changed some things. He was just trying to hurdle the guy. Yeah, but he did kick him. Even if it wasn't intentional, it's still funny. They need to give Josh Jacobs the ball more. If he gets hot, I don't know if anybody, or at least I don't know if the Dreadnoughts can stop him. What's good, Pokemon? Welcome in. What happened in the other games? The Bengals and Broncos both lost somehow. The Patriots beat the Bills in overtime. The Commies beat the Golden Eagles. And the Panthers lost to the Rams. Oh, was it intentional? Oh. I mean, I don't remember the play that well. I would understand if he was trying to hurdle him, but it is Antonio Brown, so I wouldn't put it past him. Bills were neo-fascists. Ezekiel Elliott with a neo-fascist fumble that cost him the game. It was a good run, boys. I don't think it's quite over yet, but yeah, it's not looking great. And I'm pretty sure the Cougars start with the ball, too. Although I could be wrong. But I think they get the ball first in the second half. Steelers intentionally lost at the end. They wanted the Bengals. And, well, they got their wish. And it worked out. Good for them. 4th and 4. They are going to kick. This is a mistake. This play can, like, single-handedly put the Dreadnoughts back in the game. Unless he makes it. Which, it's 58 yards. I'm not expecting to make. Not even close. So the Dreadnoughts have time. And they have timeouts. They can absolutely score and tie the game. The Cougars do start with the ball in the second half, but the Dreadnoughts can put themselves back in it right here. We could have beaten the Bengals if we played them. Yeah, you guys are really regretting losing that game to the Steelers now, aren't you? Imagine if Caleb Williams is at 99 X Factor. Well, you've probably got a ways to go until that happens. The Dreadnoughts have 2 timeouts in 46 seconds, and they're already pretty close to field goal range. So, at the bare minimum, they should get 3. That gets them 9. Did the Pistons bought out Corey Joseph? I can't... Are you, like, actually joking, or are you being serious? Please, please be true. Please. Then we would have 2 open roster spots, because we just bought out Nerlens. Looks like the Dreadnoughts are going to kick. The Cougars are still going to have time to score. Did they just go for it? I wasn't even looking. I assumed they were going to kick. Did they just go for it and not get it? Wow. I get it was a 4th and 1, so like in a vacuum, going for it is not that bad of a call, but I am surprised. I did not see that coming. We told the Bills they can have this. We didn't want New England. Well, I guess it worked out. Yeah, all I see is Milwaukee's in favor for Goran Dragic. Yeah. Some of the catches these Cougars receivers have made today are ridiculous. Mike Williams is insane. The Cougars gave up a king's ransom for him, and right now it's like paying dividends. Is league realignment a thing? Not in Madden. Madden's lazy. There's Mike Williams again. They're probably just going to kick here. They should just kick. Make it a 2-score game. You're starting with the ball in the second half. I would kick. No reason to get cute. Yeah, that's the right call. The Dreadnoughts are not out of it. They're only up by 10. But the Cougars appear to be in a good spot. And maybe cutting Russell Wilson for Derek Carr wasn't that bad of a move. Nolan Smith's 4.39 was the fastest by an edge ever. Are they not classifying Amari Barno as an edge? Because he ran like a 4.36 last year. I think mainly as an edge rusher. Maybe they profiled him with the linebackers, but yeah, 4.39. Woo! That's a good number. So let's see what the Cougars can do with the ball. Yeah, Montez Sweat ran like a fast time too. Was it sub 4.4? It might have been a 4.38. And obviously they did. I assume they did not put Montez Sweat with the linebackers. That'd be weird. Yeah, Kalijah Cansey ran a 4.67. He can also fly for being 280 pounds. Barnard should be classified as an edge. Exactly. That's what Carolina drafted him to do. He ran a 4.41. Okay, that was probably the previous record, I would think. And I guess Nolan Smith broke it. Although Nolan Smith's also like a lot smaller than Montez Sweat, at least in terms of weight. I assume Sweat was a lot bigger than 235 when he ran that. I could probably figure that out, what Montez Sweat's combine weight was. Yeah, right now he's around 260. And his combine page says 260. So, yeah, I'd say a 4.41 at 260 is a little more impressive than a 4.39 at 235. Not to take anything away from Nolan Smith, because that's an awesome time. But Montez Sweat is a big dude. Undersized Pitt defensive tackles do have a good track record. That is true. Not that Cansey's going to be the next Aaron Donald, but it's happened before. I should draft Caleb and trade up for the second pick and draft Drake May to pass a little jaw off. Or piss Little Jaw off. Yeah, I don't know if that's possible because Little Jaw may or may not now have the second overall pick. Ocholari's running a 4.22. Yeah, if that happens, I don't think the Eagles are going to get him. So, yeah. Wow, what a catch. So after getting a quick stop, the Dreadnoughts appear to be moving it down the field. Imagine having a 260-pound man running at you at 4.41 speed. I would have a heart attack. I don't blame you. Risky throw. Was it Zakai? Zakai had the touchdown earlier. Did he make another play? He's been having himself a day. Living up to that first-round pick status. Little job from a decent coach to a guy trading his entire future for a guy he hasn't even scouted yet. The best part is he had a top 5 pick all along right in his back pocket. Do you pronounce Zakai weird or I do? I assume that's how you would say it, Zakai. Greg George just got re-signed. I feel like you're joking. I feel like you'd be a little more excited. That $16 million is a lot for him too, so I feel like it's probably not the case. I pronounce it as Zaki. Zachy. Tennessee, Byron Young was good too. He's not even the best Byron Young of the defensive linemen at the combine. If I had a nickel for every time there was a Byron Jones at the combine, I'd have 2 nickels. Not a lot, but it's weird it's happened twice this year. Yeah, Zachy is very wrong. I would not want my name to be pronounced Zachy. Here's the thing, would you pay Greg Dortch at all? Maybe as like a number 4 receiver, yeah. I mean, Greg Dortch is an NFL caliber player. It's not like he's bad. Theoretically, I could make Drake May a 60 normal. I would pay to see that. Awebawore is injured. That's the Northwestern edge rusher who we were talking about in one of the other games. I still have to figure out how to pronounce that name because I'm probably going to have to mention him in a mock draft soon, and I don't know how to say his name yet. So that's fun. Hurts incomplete. Even a field goal does make it a 1-score game here, but obviously they should be thinking more than field goal if they can. I'm going to scout every single quarterback. Well, I don't think he'll be able to full scout every quarterback. 3rd and 5. Ooh, good play in the secondary. Hurts was trying to throw it up there, hoping the receiver would make a play. Did that say Hurts has thrown 38 passes today? Holy cow! We're barely halfway down the 3rd quarter. He's thrown 38 passes. I'll make Caleb a 90 X Factor, make all the other ones 60 normal. When you do a 7-round mock draft, let me hop in on the 3rd. Well, I only do 1 7-rounder a year. I'm not doing 7th round mock drafts in March. I'm crazy, but I'm not that crazy. I usually save the 7-rounder for the end of the year, or the end of the draft cycle. Should have had those points before half. That's true. They should have kicked. It should be 24-20. But it is now, nonetheless, a 1-score game. Although, coverage like that is not going to help it stay a 1-score game. I'm going to quit OFL if you do that. That would be funny. That would also mean, though, that DJ and Bo are 60 normals, and I kind of want them to be good. I'm kind of trying to push an agenda here, so... Tipped. Boing, 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 boing. They had 7 chances to pick it off. That's like the most impressive game of hot potato I've ever seen in the secondary. I've seen a lot of tips before. I don't think I've ever seen that many in one play. That's like impressively bad to not catch it once. Jeez. I didn't know that the Dreadnoughts had 7 Jalen Ragers in their secondary. I thought he was on my team. They do get the stop, though. But that is one of the funniest plays I think I've ever seen in this game, and that says a lot. But the Dreadnoughts have it back, only down 7. How are you a professional athlete and not catch that ball? You could have probably had any of us back there, and we would have caught it at one point. I moved the interception sliders up before the stream, too, and we've had a good amount of interceptions today across the board. So there's not really an excuse for the defensive backs to not catch it. Linebacker. Is Trenton Simpson testing today? I want to see what he runs. I'm curious about that number. He should run a good time. I'm also really curious about Drew Sanders. He's a fascinating player. I want to see what he runs. If the Lions win the NFC North, they make the playoffs. Wow. That's a hot take right there. Can you ban Stephon Gilmore from Dan Dutton's team? Blame Ismu for having his team draft him and not re-sign him. I'm also excited about Sanders. Welcome to the Drew Sanders fan club. But yeah, there are some fun linebackers in this class. Dayan Henley out of Washington State. I'm curious to see how he tests. I'm just seeing this Juju video. I didn't see a whole video, but I know Juju made like a skit about the Eagles that Eagles players didn't like. Nice coverage, Chicago. Oh, fumble! We'll have to see if he was down or not, but if he is, that's a turnover. Let's see. Was he down? Oh, we're not going to get a look. We're going to get a look at the injured player. No review! Okay, I guess it is a fumble. Wow, okay. Really want to see Overshone and Papa. Those are two interesting players as well. It's a good group at linebacker this year. And then whichever edge rushers they classified at linebacker, like Ojulari. They put Ojulari with the linebackers, but not Nolan Smith. Whatever, I'm not going to question it. Curious to see how Noah Sewell tests, too. I am Drew Sanders. Hi, Drew. Shouldn't you be getting ready for your 40 time instead of being here? Although, good luck if you're about to run, Drew. Anderson is testing, but I don't know if he's running a 40. I want to see a Will Anderson 40, but I'd be surprised if he doesn't. Mock Sewell to the Steelers in the first round. Is that a reach? Yes. I love the guy, but I don't think he's worth a first-round pick. Did that just say J.J. Arcega-Whiteside made a catch? I didn't even know he was on this team. To'o To'o's fun because To'o To'o is a fun name to say. Like, I'm not even like that sold on him as a prospect, but the idea of having someone with the name Henry To'o To'o in our linebacking core is fun. I would enjoy wearing the name To'o To'o on a jersey. Sewell to us in round 2. I think that's still a little early compared to some of the other linebackers, but obviously it would be a fun storyline to have him in Panay. I think there are better options in the second round. I think Jack Campbell would be a fit. Maybe if Drew Sanders falls there, I'd like him quite a bit. I think Trenton Simpson could fall a little bit lower than people think, so I don't know if he falls to our second rounder, but that's an option. We aren't taking a position that isn't corner or offensive tackle in the first round unless we draft Brian Brzee. So in other words, you're drafting corner or offensive tackle. Because I don't think Brzee is probably worth a top 17 pick. Although I guess I wouldn't be that shocked if he goes in that range, but I just don't think he's going to go as high as people think. Although I've certainly been wrong before, but... Andre Carter's an interesting one. Isn't he like 6'7"? He's big. Give me the answers. As the Cougars score the touchdown, Brandon Cooks makes the play, and Chicago is back in the driver's seat with 4.5 minutes to go. Brzee tested well, so I think he might be getting his stock back. Yeah, but we also knew he was a good athlete. More of the questions were not so how he was going to test, but more so how he's performed on the field and his ability to stay healthy. But even so, I mean, testing well obviously doesn't hurt. There are obviously a couple defensive tackles who are probably going to go ahead of them with Carter and Cansey, but other than that, I don't think there's any interior defensive lineman who's like that close to Brzee. Maybe like a Maisie Smith or a Siaki Ika. Incoming Little Jaw to say something about how Siaki Ika was robbed for Rookie of the Year. Brzee to the Lions at 18. I don't know. I don't think I would use that high of the pick on him. And I also don't think we need interior defensive line as much as people think. Aleem McNeil as our nose tackle last year was really good. Not that Brzee would play nose, but I feel like everyone thinks we have to add a defensive lineman early. I don't know if we do. What a throw. Oh, my goodness. That was a dot. And an incredible catch by Robbie Chosen Anderson. Jags are going to trade or release Shaq Griffin. That doesn't feel that surprising. We need linebacker. Yes, we do. Alex Anzalone's fine. He's a free agent, though, so we might not even have him back. But I'm not all that sold on Derek Barnes at all, and we need somebody to join forces with Rodrigo. And obviously, defensive back is a need, too, particularly corner. So I would certainly expect one of our top 2 picks to be a corner, presumably, because it is a good corner class. Whether it's 6 with one of the top guys or 18 a little bit lower. You missed the fun. Did you see the Robbie Anderson catch? Was the Robbie Anderson catch the touchdown, or was that down at the 1? No, that was down at the 1, and then they scored the next play. Gonzo, AR-15, and Sanders. I would love that haul. The problem is, I don't think AR is falling to 18, let alone 6. If he's on the board at 6, there's a part of me that'd be a little bit surprised. But if we end up with both AR and Gonzo, then build Brad Holmes the goddamn statue. I'm a coward. How am I a coward? I don't like to reveal my sources. Wow, there's only 2 minutes left. This fourth quarter has flown by. Ravens met with AR. It's good to do your due diligence as Josh Jacobs runs over a man. And the Dreads are going to have to start calling their timeouts. Will Anderson is running? Good. I want to see his time. And since his name starts with A, he's probably going to be one of the first ones to go because they do it alphabetically. Is that game? Not yet, but if they get another first down, then it is. Is anyone going before Anderson, or is he going to be the first one? I guess maybe he's seen some of the Tyree Wilson buzz, and he's like, I want to prove that I'm the top edge rusher in the class. BJ isn't running? BJ and Drew Sanders aren't running. Darn, I wanted to see what they would have ran. Do they go for 3? Yeah, no reason to not to. You're up by 7. Pretty much try to close the game. 50-yarder's no guarantee, but it looks good. And they got it. Okay, so the Cougars lead by 10. The Dreadnoughts are going to need a score, an onside kick, and a score. Is Will Anderson running right now? I'm going to try to pull it up on my phone. I kind of want to see him run. Damn, Robbie has 150 today. That's a lot. But the Dreadnoughts are still going to need pretty much a miracle here. I'm back from playing Tetris. What happened? I don't know when you left, but the Dreadnoughts scored, and then the Cougars chewed clock and scored. You should have the Combine on in the back. I thought about doing that, but since you guys were giving updates, I figured I didn't really need to. But I want to see Will Anderson run. Don't want to take on the Cougars. They're our kryptonite. Didn't we watch you guys beat the Cougars this year in a watch game? I could have sworn we did. I think you can handle them. You guys are big boys, so you can do it. 20 seconds. They pretty much have to lob up a prayer. And that's not going to do it. They might not have time for another play. Yeah, I think it's over. The defending champion Chicago Cougars live to see another day as they defeat the San Antonio Dreadnoughts 34-24. This was a pretty good game. The Cougars really had control ever since the pick six, which was a terrible throw. But the Cougars stayed in it. Or not the Cougars, the Dreadnoughts stayed in it until the end. Went 5 for 6. Thanks, Octi. Blame Matt Corral. Jalen Hurts was solid, minus the pick six, which was really bad. Derek Carr was good. I was impressed. I thought he played really well. Josh Jacobs was solid. They probably should have given him the ball more, but he was a lot better than Damian Harris, who had 1.2 yards per carry. He had pretty much the same amount of fumbles as he had yards per carry. Yikes. Marvin Jones and Robbie Anderson both had big games. Zakai Ross played well. Mike Williams had some ridiculous catches. I don't think I said Von Miller's name once today. What did he do? One tackle, albeit it was for a loss. Yeah, I feel like if you're the defensive player of the year, most likely, you should do a little more than that. Nolan Smith ran faster than CMC and Saquon. Goodness. So that wraps up the wild card round. We had quite a few surprises. The higher seeds in the NFC won, except for the Cougars. And then in the AFC, the 2 and 3 seed are done. So that'll bring us to the divisional round, which will be the next stream, which I don't know exactly when that's going to be. But we've got some interesting games here. They are starting. Is Will Anderson up first? We've got the Texans and the Steelers, the Patriots and the Raiders. Not exactly the divisional matchups we expected, but here we are. The Monarchs will play the Cougars, and the Commanders will play the Rams. We only have 2 relocation teams left, and they're both playing each other. Will Anderson is up. Oh, boy. I hope the number's not too good, because now I've talked myself into him possibly having a world where he falls to 6. I also don't want him to run like something bad, obviously. If I never talk again, it's because there's tornadoes near me. Oh, well, I hope you're all good. Okay, so did I just like completely miss the, whose pick is it? The DeGames pick. DeGames is first rounder? Who has DeGames as first? It's not DeGames. 4-6-9, okay, nice. That's not like a crazy good time. It's not slow. I mean, a 4-7 is solid. But that's not going to knock your socks off. We might as well just start from the beginnings, just so everyone can see their total draft picks. Does Giddy have it? Okay. For A.J. Brown. Oh, so did you just make a mistake? That Monarchs pick might be 32. Anyway, Jack Campbell, I want to see what he runs. I think he'd be a good fit for us. Jack Campbell's not going to run some crazy good time, but I want to see if it's, like, decent. Got to have a little speed if you're going to play inside linebacker. You don't need to be Devin White out there. Not that, like, Devin White's all that great. Wow, look at all these picks Mexico City has. Had so many. 4-7-1. That's not bad. Wow, the Raiders have the 3rd pick. My goodness. They're going to be really good next year if all goes well. which I trust Troy. I think he'll make good picks. Steelers have 2 1s. How'd they get the San Antonio one? Who did the Dreadnoughts trade? I know Ismu probably traded that pick in like a small deal. The Raiders have 4, I think. They have a lot. They're going to be good. The Titans also have 4, including 6 and 9. Nice. Traded it for Quay Walker. Okay. So that trade was with the Bills, and then did the Bills trade that pick for Hollywood? I think that's how it would have happened. Yeah, Troy is cooking. Let him cook. If they beat the Texans, then man. 4.57 for Derek Hall. Solid. Oh, we got to see players of the week. I forgot. And injuries. And then we'll wrap it up. Which first rounders do I have? You have yours and the Jets, right? I showed all the picks, so you can go back a few minutes if you want to see it. Players of the week, P.J. Walker, Joe Burrow, Max Crosby with his 6.5, not 6, 6.5 sacks, and Josh Allen. Which picks? I showed it 3 minutes ago. Can't you just scroll back? You said, yeah, I just showed everyone's draft picks. That's the draft order, basically. Who's left? Let's see. The Monarchs, nothing. The Patriots, nothing. Raiders, Nyheim Hines. Rams, Chandler Jones is still out. Nick Herbig's probably going to run a good time. He's quite athletic. The Texans, none. The Steelers, none. Did I miss anybody? The Commanders, whoa, lot. Okay. Trent Williams tore his labrum. That happened in the game today. And then the Cougars, David Onyemata. 4.71. I feel like he should have ran faster. All right, so I think that just about does it. A fun wild card stream in the books. This was a long one, too. Nearly 3 hours. Holy cow. The divisional round, again, will either be this weekend or early next week. I'm not entirely sure when, but it'll be soon enough. Peace out.